Hey guys, I'm sure you probably heard about Laura Loomer, who recently stormed the stage of that Julius Caesar play. Now, I disagree with what she did, first of all, because this play isn't actually calling for the assassination of anybody. It's not a pro assassination play. The assassins don't make out well in the end, right? And they've actually done this with Obama in like 2012. They had him as the figure, and they also had some sponsors pull out, because there's some outcry. So, they've done this in the past. It's not a pro assassination play, like I said, but I can see why people believe that because of all the stuff that's going on right now, currently, that is pretty much, you know, giving out dog whistles to, crazy people. But the way the right wing media right now is portraying this, it is a little is false, right? It's not necessarily the way, like they're not. It's not pro Trump assassination, and I don't trust, that Jack Posadic guy who is there, Posadic, however you say his name, because he's, he's fired from the rebel media. Like this girl right now works for them. Like this is gonna get them some attention. But rebel media fired him because he was making like unsubstantiated claims for that like Seth Rich thing. And it's good. It's fine to, talk about it and point out some inconsistencies. But you don't want to start releasing anonymous sources. Blah blah blah. Like we don't want to turn into the left like the SJWs. And this is kind of what they are turning into. And in my opinion, they're just using this to boost their popularity and to because I'd never heard of this Laura Loomer girl before this. Now I have, and a lot of other people. Now she's gonna like gain a lot of followers from this, and they're already asking for donations. Which, yes, because of the bullshit charges against them, which I disagree with. Like they should have the right to interrupt, like what do you call it, plays, and not be charged with civil disobedience. Like that doesn't really make any sense, and trespassing. But because it's also like a public play apparently. But it's also, and some people are saying there's government funding going into this, but it's actually not. There's no government funding as well. So, you know, we should not create a monster, and I can see this kind of starting. And, if you really disagree with something, just boycott it economically. Just don't spend your money there. And, instead of trying to completely shut things down, shut freedom of speech, because it is a freedom of speech issue, and they should have the right. They aren't taking public funds, it's private funds. They can really, and they're not calling for violence. Second of all, so you gotta kind of just take it, and because if you start making laws and this and that to prevent depictions of Trump, being assassinated, this and that. Like, if you really want that, it's going to be used against you in the future. So, you got to think about that, and we got to accept some shit. And you can talk about it, you can protest it, but you don't need to go and act like a fucking SJW and get up in the middle of the stage and stop a production that isn't even calling for the assassination of somebody. So, yeah, like, these two people, to me, have lost a lot of credibility for doing that, for going and interrupting this specific play, right? They could have done it for other stuff, possibly, but this is clearly just for attention and for money. But it has become kind of a free speech issue because they're getting charged now, right? And I disagree with the charges. I don't think they should be charged for doing that, like I said before. But now it's going to be a bigger issue, and now they're going to get more attention for it. And we should never go by the thing like by any means necessary and like be like, well, this is wrong, we should lie, but it's going to get us a lot of support, and in the end it's for a better cause. But that's never the right way to go about it. And I think if anybody wants to stay consistent and logical, like, they should disassociate themselves from these people. And sure, they're right about some stuff, and I agree with some stuff, but you don't want to discredit yourself by associating with these people, because they're going to continue to do things like this and make your side look worse, right? So, people should start shunning these people for their own good, because it's not going to be good for them in the future. But that's pretty much all I had to say about this. If you like my content, subscribe and have a great day.